Hi everybody, welcome to 5 Minute Ministries. I want you to think at the time when you were a child, when you were in school, grade school, high school, whatever the case may be. And if you are a child, I want you to think of your life right now. You have all kinds of things that you need to do. You have to go to school, you have to obey your parents, you have to eat healthy, which means eating your vegetables, of course. You can only have the car at certain times. You have to be in at a certain time. You can't be out past dark. You have to make sure your homework's done. You have to make sure your chores are done. You have to, you can only watch TV for so long, or whatever the regulations are. You have a lot of stipulations, regulations, and obligations that you need to abide by. Because if you don't, you get punished for them in some way. Something happens. Now, most people, and I think everybody, when they receive punishment, they don't like that. They feel bad, it makes them feel bad when they're scolded, or when they're reprimanded, when they're grounded, when privileges are taken away, when they are forced to eat their vegetables, when they're forced to go to school, when they get a stern talking to and even a whooping at times. It doesn't feel good. And unfortunately, our society today says, if it feels bad, it must be wrong. That is the attitude that everyone has, including to the things that they need. When we do the wrong thing, we need to be punished. We need to be scolded. We need to be told about it. We need to be corrected, even as adults. Because as adults, the consequences may be less, but they have a higher price. It may not have as many consequences, but if you break the law, you go to jail. If you do things wrong at work, you get fired. If you aren't faithful in your marriage, you get a divorce. If you do things that alienate your kids, they don't talk to you when they become adults. So there's all kinds of consequences that make us feel bad, and we don't like that. The problem is, when we deserve that, when we're told, when we are deserving of some kind of reprimand or punishment, we think it's wrong. It's someone else's fault. Someone else is the problem. It's not that I broke the law. It's not that I didn't do my homework. It's not that I was speeding. It's not that I robbed the bank. It's not that I cheated on my spouse. It's their fault because they made me do that. And that is sadly the mentality that people have been spouting out for years. If it feels bad, it's wrong. Now, the problem is, sometimes you need to feel bad. You should feel bad about the wrong that you do, because it's wrong. Well, who says wrong? We all know right from wrong. And I don't even have to go to the Bible to tell you what's right and wrong. You know right and wrong, because when someone does wrong to you, you know it. And the Bible has standards of right and wrong, and it is the ultimate authority on right and wrong. Now, sometimes, as believers, we may be sitting in church, and the pastor will be in the pulpit, and he'll say something, and the Holy Spirit will convict us about what the pastor said. Getting upset isn't going to help. What you should do is listen, because the Holy Spirit's trying to tell you something, that something in your life needs corrected. And if we're not paying attention to that, it severs our relationship from God. Now, if we are truly saved by His grace, we're still saved, but that disconnect is there. Like when you disobey your parents and you get punished and sent to your room, a disconnect is there. You don't stop being your parents' child, but there is a rift in the relationship because of it, and you need to make amends. You need to approach and say, please forgive me, I did the wrong thing. You need to do that with God and those whom you've wronged. The devil wants us to be on the defense. He wants us to stand up for ourselves. He doesn't want us to take the blame. He says it's someone else's fault. Blame them, be mad at them. When really, if you did the wrong thing, it's your fault. If the Holy Spirit is convicting you, it's your fault. If you are committing sins against God, it's your fault. Need to take responsibility for what you did wrong. Listen to the Holy Spirit and not the devil. The devil wants to keep you down there so you stay angry, so you stay bitter, so you have fights with those who are trying to correct you. So you have fights with those that you need to have a relationship with. Do not let the devil tell you that if it feels bad, it's wrong, because sometimes you need to feel bad. So pay attention, have some discernment. Make sure if you are in the wrong, that you make up for your end of the wrong. Even if it's a mutual wrong, sometimes that happens too. Two people commit sins against each other, and they're both in the wrong, and they both need to come to it. Need to come to each other and say, hey, I was wrong, and admit their part and not point fingers. Do not let the devil destroy your relationships with other people. Do not let the devil convince you that you're right when you're not. Do not let the devil convince you that my feelings are what's most important. What's most important is truth and doing the right thing. This has been 5 Minute Ministries, and I'll see you next time.